Alrighty friends, so welcome aboard the Norwegian Sun. We're Sam and Audrey, and this week we are cruising up to Alaska on a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited. This is the first cruise of our lives. We brought our little daughter Aurelia with us, and we're also cruising with my parents-in-law as well. So we're super excited. We can't wait to show you around. This video is going to be a complete tour of the ship, including our room.
So we have lots of adventures coming up. We're going to be making stops in Ketchikan, Juneau, Sitka, Glacier Bay, but first you need to see the ship that we're traveling aboard. So we're going to cover every single floor, top to bottom.
It's big.
Let's begin.
Yeah, we've got our task.
Alrighty, so first and foremost, let's do the room tour. Very important. So as I mentioned, we are staying in one of the inner rooms. There is no view, no window, no balcony, but that's okay because we're going to be spending most of the time exploring the ship or exploring the ports. So let's begin. This is the entrance into the room, so I'm going to turn you around. First things first, when you come in, you've got a closet on the right-hand side. We actually bothered unpacking, so everything is nice and orderly. We've got our packing cubes on the shelves, very neat and tidy. And then we also hung up all of our clothes. They gave us lots of hangers, like we were actually quite pleased. We didn't even need all of them, but shirts and pants are hanging. We have our backpacks, day packs, our suitcase, and of course, we cannot forget about the life jackets in case of an emergency. I was actually quite impressed that soon after check-in, like we had just arrived at our rooms, one of the attendants came by and brought us a life jacket for the baby, so they didn't forget about her and they brought something that's size appropriate for her. So she's got one as well. So here we've got more storage. We haven't needed any of this space, but we do have 3 drawers should you be traveling with more luggage than we are. We have a nice spacious desk with a phone, lots of outlets so that we can charge our electronics. There's a little stool there, a little seat. Mirror so you can check out the outfit of the day. Hello, I'm gonna make another video about how to pack for a cruise to Alaska, so stay tuned for that one. We've got a TV and there are 2 channels that we've been checking out. There is one channel that is actually just a map that shows you where the ship is, how it's traveling up the coast along BC and towards Alaska. So I just like seeing how much progress we've made. And then there's another channel that shows you all the excursions you can go on each of the ports. So yeah, if you're not quite sure, like what do you want to do in each of these places, watch the channel that shows you all the tours because it's quite tempting. It makes you want to book some more tours and we already have booked a few. Then over on this side, we've got a couch. There you go, 2 cushions, haven't used it. Up top here, we've got another bed, which again, we are not going to use. Baby does not need her own bed yet. However, if she did, there's a single up there. Let me show you what the room looks like. Still quite spacious. This person underneath would just have to be a little bit careful in the middle of the night not to bump their head. But that is the 3rd bed. And then here is I would call this a king-size bed. You've got 2 twins pushed together, and I can tell you it is quite spacious. We slept really well last night. And here, some artwork. So that is the tour of the room. Next, I'm going to take you to the bathroom so you can see what that is like. Okay, so next up, it's time for a little tour of the bathroom. What does a bathroom look like aboard a cruise ship? I'm gonna show you what it's like for our cabin. We are in the cheapest cabins, the inner rooms, but yes, let's check out the bathroom. So I've got the door right behind me, and as soon as I walk in on the left-hand side, we have our shower. It is a round shower. Here we've got conditioning, shampoo, and also body wash. And if we continue looking up here, we have a shower head, and we've got a curtain so the whole bathroom doesn't get soaked when you take your shower. Also, something very useful, we've got a drying line here, so if you hand wash your clothes, you can hang them up here so that they drip dry. Continuing on, then we've got the toilet right here. That's the button that you press to flush. You want to make sure the lid is down. And then here is the hair dryer. Over on this side, we've got our bath towels, 3 of them. We have our hand towels. And we also have our face cloths or washcloths. And I'm really impressed because they have given us 3 towels, so they didn't forget about baby. She gets one too. Then we have our sink here, hot and cold water. We have extra rolls of toilet paper. And then we have the soap dispenser for the hand soap. This is where you would plug in your shavers. They left us 2 glasses for brushing our teeth. And as you can see, we've got lots of space to put our toiletry kit, or we can hang it on here on the door. So I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with the amount of space we have here in the bathroom. I thought it was going to be a lot tighter and just more cramped, but it's been very comfortable. I've already used the shower as well. Nice water pressure and piping hot. So you can control the temperature. I like it piping hot, and I can get it piping hot, which is great. So yes, now you know what a bathroom looks like aboard Norwegian cruise lines, specifically the Norwegian Sun. Okay, so we are starting on the 4th floor. This is where our rooms are located. We have an inner room, no view, no window, no balcony.
Yeah, it's perfectly suited our needs though. We're very comfortable, and there are a lot of guests here. This is the longest corridor I've ever been in. It's like a hotel that doesn't end. And it's amazing. It kind of feels like we're on the Titanic a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, let's hope not.
So there isn't much more to show you on the 4th floor because it's all accommodations. But what's fascinating is that we have these maps on every single level of the boat. They're literally indispensable. If we didn't have these, I'm sure we'd be getting a lot more lost.
Okay, so we are leaving the 4th floor behind, taking the stairs up to the 5th, gonna work off all the food we have been consuming.
Yeah.
And what do we have on the 5th?
On the 5th, this is actually where we've been consuming the food.
Yeah.
These are probably the 2 best restaurants that we can eat at. So we've been going to the 4 Seasons and also the 7 Seas.
Yes.
Love both. And yeah, this is so much better than the buffet on the 11th floor. Not that the buffet is bad or anything, just the quality of the food at these 2 particular restaurants is superb.
So, okay, I should mention this. I've just noticed it. Look, seasick bags is what they call them. Barf bags. I just noticed those. We are experiencing very choppy seas.
Did someone say barf bags?
Yes.
Actually, I'm so lucky I don't get seasick. You sort of do, and your mother's even worse. So I feel for you too. I do.
Neither one of us has puked yet, thankfully. Hopefully that does not happen. But I didn't mean to speak about vomit. What I wanted to tell you is that on the 5th floor, aside from the 2 restaurants that Sam mentioned, the ones that we've been going to, the 7 Seas and the 4 Seasons, you can eat at for free. But they also have fancy restaurants where you can make reservations, including La Cucina Italian restaurant. And then there's also the Atrium Cafe and Bar. So let's go to the Atrium. They have macarons and fancy coffee at that cafe, FYI. Alrighty, so here to the right, the Atrium Bar and Cafe, people hanging out, having their coffee, having their cocktails. Ooh la la.
This is kind of the main meeting hall. Here you can book your excursions, apparently sign up for different types of credit cards related to cruising. And it's great. I think they're the nicest elevators here. You get like that see-through glass as you're going up and down.
Ooh, let's do that.
Area, yeah.
Elevators. We're gonna go up to 6.
We're making the impossible journey up 1 level.
Oh my.
Don't blink.
In the fancy elevator.
Over.
We're here. There is a lot happening on the 6th floor.
Floor 6 is maybe the busiest floor in terms of what's available.
Yes,
We've got the Stardust Theater, the Bliss Ultra Lounge, the Windjammer Bar, and that's just the bar's entertainment, shopping, amenities and activities, internet cafe, cruise consultant, the library, photo gallery, retail shop, photo studio, meeting room, jogging tracks, and even a few staterooms here too. So.
Alrighty.
A lot going on.
What should we do first? Shall we do the jogging track? I feel like the sun has come out.
Yeah, we could. This is the first nice view we've had today, so let's go check it out.
Let's show it to you.
Let's show it to you.
Now, before we continue with our tour of the Norwegian Sun, I want to tell you about our friends at Cruises It. They're one of the top agencies for all major cruise lines, and they offer discounted rates and bookings with extra perks. For example, for our first cruise to Alaska, they hooked us up with a photo package so we were able to capture some nice memories from the trip. On top of that, they offer the best rate guarantee with their cruise fare watch system, meaning they track prices right up until your final payment. So if you want to save on your next cruise, check them out. You can either click the link in the description box to book on your own, or give them a call if you prefer a more personal touch. Now, let's get back to our tour of the Norwegian Sun. Windjammer Bar. Hello.
We're at the Windjammer Bar. I'm simulating as if I was having a Cuban cigar, because you can buy them here.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, this is a really cool place. This has like that retro vintage charm. Just want to like kick back, enjoy a drink, have a cigar. I've actually seen a lot of people come here and play games, board games together. So nice place to lounge, and yeah, I love the retro vibes. It just shows how many neat theme rooms you can find here in the cruise ship.
Well, this is the library. Lots of books in lots of different languages. You can see Espanol. 7th floor. What are we gonna find?
And we're moving on up to the 7th floor. Bars, entertainment, shopping, activities, and staterooms.
Ooh, la la.
Oh, the casino straight away. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go there.
Shopping. One of the many things you can do here.
So you can buy yourself a fancy watch. You can get yourself a new camera, or you can get the beverage of your choice. There's lots of different options. A lot of it is aimed at the kind of high-end luxury level.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So on this floor, we also have the champagne bar, and then half of the floor is more staterooms. But I think you're getting a pretty good idea of how massive this place is. So yeah, we just went through the casino, there's a champagne bar, the art gallery, another entrance point to the theater. So let's go on up. Another floor is calling our name.
We have more to show.
Okay, so we are now waiting at the elevators. Floors 8, 9, and 10, we are going to bypass. It is all staterooms, more rooms, nothing else. We're gonna jump up to 11, where we have more dining, bars, and lounges. Lots of them. Let's see if we can hit them all up.
Oh, we got another of these cool elevators.
Fancy elevator. I like these elevators with the glass. My dad keeps calling it the Titanic staircase. He thinks it looks quite fancy.
Yeah, it does. We're saving our legs for the actual floors. We could walk on the staircase.
Oh, and there's a fitness center. I can see it already.
There we go.
And a spa.
All right, so just so we don't miss anything, we've got the Oasis pool and hot tub sun deck, topsiders bar, Moderno Churrascaria, video arcade, garden cafe sports bar, and the Great Outdoors Cafe.
Oh my, oh my.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. This is also where the buffet is, on the 11th floor.
Okay. The sun came out.
We got some sun. That's crazy. So this is the place where you come out and have fun. This is where you have the pool, the hot tubs. This is the places where you can lounge like a lizard. And you've also got a bar over there.
Oh.
So yeah, this is a fun spot. When we first boarded the cruise, they were having like a Cuban dance party. And people of all ages were joining around and doing like this kind of like train all around the pool area. It was a lot of fun to watch.
I totally missed that. Where was I?
Yeah, I can't remember why we were separated, but we were for a bit, and I got to see that. You didn't.
Fun. So we are now at the Garden Cafe. I would say this is probably the busiest restaurant on the whole ship for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just a lot of people. I don't know if they don't know about the other restaurants that are really nice or they just want a quick meal.
Well, that's the case. When we first came here, we didn't know any better. Now that we do, we tend to only come here for snacks and drinks when we're, in between meals, let's say. But when we first arrived here on the cruise ship, the rooms weren't ready. So basically the whole ship was here. It was absolute chaos.
Yes.
And that was our introduction to cruising. It was a little overwhelming, to say the least.
We kind of thought, what have we gotten ourselves into? Are we going to like cruising?
I know, it was like, what kind of a zoo are we in? But since everyone's settled into their rooms and everyone's doing different things now, the whole cruise is being utilized across the board, so that means that there's no longer the crowds here.
And look at that little mop blowing in the wind.
Yeah, this is the best view we've had all day.
This is the best weather we've had since we set sail.
I know. We were kind of worried, is it just going to be gray and overcast and rainy the whole time? No, the sun has come out. Guys, this is the West Coast. When you do get the sun, you appreciate every single moment of it. Believe me, I'm from here.
So we've got 4 different restaurants here. Los Lobos, Teppanyaki, Sushi Bar, and Cagney's Steakhouse. Oh, the variety.
Teppanyaki, look at that. That's really cool. Check that out.
Ooh.
Cool, huh?
Nice. You can watch as they prepare the food right in front of you.
I know, that's so cool. And then down here we got a steakhouse.
Ooh. This has got to be the sushi bar. Hello. And the steakhouse.
Check this out.
Nice.
Steakhouse is plenty prepared for your wine consuming efforts later.
Check out the size of those.
Check out those. Those are some nice goblets, huh?
Yes, you need wine if you're having steak.
Of course you do.
Going to the chapel cause we're gonna get married. Go to the chapel
cause we're already married. Just kidding.
You wanna renew your vows?
No. Not really. Once was enough.
This is the observation lounge.
So this is also one of the coolest bars on the ship. You have epic views and it's a great place to lounge. There's apparently a band coming to play because they're all set up over there. They have the drum kit, everything, and a really cool looking bar. So hard to find seats here though. When we came earlier in the day, completely full.
Yes, it fills up very fast.
Snag them early.
Snag them, and this is the bar. There you go.